Hey, how's it going? We're back in the old school Let's Play world, and we're gonna build a bridge. And even more important than building the bridge, we're gonna dig a really, really big hole. I can't just put this bridge here without a reason for it to exist. So I wanna dig out a massive canyon. I'm gonna dig this thing from this big hole all the way at least to the edge of the forest here, or enough that I can kind of disappear it around the corner, so that when you're coming across the bridge, it really sells the effect of like, oh, this is precarious, and they needed to build this bridge in order to traverse this area, because otherwise it would have gone way around or something like that, you know what I mean? I need the bridge to be needed in a way that they couldn't have just simply gone around the big hole, right? So we need to dig it far enough over there that it really like sells the effect. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. And to do that, we're gonna go through a lot of tools. This is gonna be a lot of dirt and a lot of stone. The dirt itself, I mean, maybe that's a couple shovel repairs, but we're gonna go through a lot of pickaxes, I think. I'd like to get the depth down. Probably not as deep as this little cavern over here goes, but pretty deep. Enough that it can sell, again, this like huge drop off that you wouldn't just like make a path down and then a path back up. So it has to be pretty steep and fairly deep. I don't know if we'll put water in it yet, but for now, we at least gotta dig the hole. And then finally, when we get through digging the hole, we're gonna build a bridge. But because we're gonna be destroying our tools like crazy doing this, I think we're gonna have to get ourselves set up with a way to quickly repair them. And the best way that I know of to get XP fast is with an ender. So before we get started on this project at all, we're gonna go to the end and we're gonna build a quick little Enderman XP farm, or an ender, or an ender farm, or whatever you like to call it. We're gonna go build one of those. I'll meet you when it's done. It's nothing exciting. It's a super basic one. It's just gonna be a flat platform, a drop chute, and a safe little space at the bottom that we can stab them. I don't even think we're gonna bother with a collection system, because honestly, we don't need 20 inventories full of ender pearls. Maybe we'll do it just so I didn't think about that. It might lag stuff out if we don't at least collect ender pearls. We'll see. But for now, super simple. Cobblestone or stone, a drop chute, and a place to kill them. I'll check back in when it's done. And here it is, the Ender. Wasn't too bad. It was actually a lot more cobblestone than I thought. It was about an entire shulker box full of cobblestone, but you've got your flat platform on top, you've got your drop chute, which I try to do like a cool little intricate pattern, but it's just a chute of stone. The whole thing is just solid stone, because I didn't want to bust out the expensive resources for something that, you know, is a temporary, efficient way to repair our tools for the much larger project of this episode, which is the canyon. So there's the drop chute, there's a little safe area with carpets on top of it so the Enderman can't jump up there, and then a place where you stab them. Let's go down there and check it out up close. I did bring the wings. Doing anything like this over the void is maybe the most scary thing you can do in Minecraft, because if you fall down there, you lose it all. Everything you've got is gone forever with no hope of rescue, and I just couldn't take that risk. So we did bring our elytra just for safe traveling, and you know, if we did fall off, we could zoom back up and not risk losing everything, but here it is. Oh, we got a little XP left here from last time, and all the ender pearls. So we didn't make any collection system, as I kind of alluded to. They're just gonna land down here and get stuck. We slash on them with our sword, they give us a whole bunch of XP, and boom, look, we got this axe. I mean, obviously it's barely damaged right now, but instantly repaired. It's kind of loud. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, that should be better. That's much more reasonable. Okay, forgot about how loud the Endermen were. Yeah, super simple. Little platform, little too high, because Endermen can't jump them too high. I think technically they can teleport to these leaves, but even if they jump over here on us, they can't get us, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, you can get XP at this thing faster than you can even collect it, so I don't think we're gonna get much more efficient than that. So we'll be able to just quickly run here when we're working on the... Man, I can't get over how weird the generation was on my end. It was all because of that crash, I think, when I first came into the end zone, but yeah, pillars are super messed up. There's like an extra one on each side. It's super weird. I built the ladder just in case, but whenever we come here, we're probably going to bring our elytra because it's just, again, it's too scary. If I fall off the edge here and lose everything, it's just going to be a bad time. And I don't have that kind of time, so we'll be safe. We can ride the horse most of the time still, but for this, we're playing it safe. We have enough gunpowder and sugarcane that, the occasional use of rockets to get back and forth to here shouldn't be a big deal. There are a lot of ender pearls in there, and I did collect some. I actually technically, this is probably dangerous. Technically, I can probably sneak in here and collect some if I really wanted to. No, I guess I can't fit in there. Huh. That's 1 block high. You should be able to fit in a 1 block. Huh. I wonder why I can't fit in there. That's kind of strange. Well, anyway, I don't need the ender pearls, so it's not a big deal. There we go. We can repair our tools. Step 1 of this episode is now complete. Step 2 is going to be dig a giant hole. So let's run back up there real quick and get ourselves set up for what will be a pretty big grind, but I think I've got a good solution for that. Whoops. I forgot we set our spawn here earlier. We gotta get birdie. Okay, so here's the plan. I've already dug this thing out in creative mode. I know that seems super excessive for digging a hole, but I really wanted to make sure that the shape of the canyon was just right. So I've done that ahead of time. So I already know exactly how it's gonna be. I just need to do it. And it's a lot of blocks. So we're gonna go get our beacon, set it up over here somewhere nice and convenient, and I think we're gonna live stream it. I don't think we'll get it all done on stream because this is probably, I don't know. It's hard to say because with the beacon, it's instant mining, but this is still a huge area. We'll see how far we can reasonably get it and still have time to build the bridge this episode, but we're gonna go on stream and dig until we can't dig anymore. So if you wanna check it out, it's already happened obviously when you're watching this, but if you'd like to check it out, the VOD will be available on my Twitch channel. We're gonna go live, do a bunch of digging, and then I'll check back in before we start building the actual bridge itself. It's funny, the bridge is kind of like the topic of the episode, or like, it's the big shiny moment, but it's probably going to be the least work. I mean, the ender farm, even though it's just stone, it's still over the void, and you have to get like an endermite and stuff. It's super finicky. And then this is a massive area to excavate. And then this bridge itself, realistically, is like, what, 27 blocks across? So even if I go super intricate with this thing, it's going to take way less time than the rest of this stuff. But sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes the project is kind of all the little bits around the build is what takes up all your time. It's just kind of an interesting thing. All right, links in the description if you want to follow me there. Again, I try to do community posts, so hopefully you catch that and you don't miss this one, but let's get to it. We've got a lot of work to do. I'll see you in a minute. And there it is, a really, really big hole in the ground. Woo-wee. That was a lot of digging. On the stream, I think we got about like halfway through it. We got maybe just to here, just past where the actual bridge is gonna go. And then, whew, I just ground the rest of it out. I just buckled up and dug. I watched a lot of Twitch streams, watched a lot of YouTube videos, listened to some music, and just got in the zone and stayed up far too late a couple nights. But the end product, oh, it's so worth it. This thing is massive. I know you can see it in the time lapse, and it's almost definitely going to be the thumbnail for this video, but not 1 block out of place. Yeah, anyway, I know you can see it in the time lapse, and I know you can see it in the thumbnail for this video, but honestly, if you're not in first person perspective and walking through this thing, you really just can't. I mean, this thing, this is definitely the biggest thing I've ever done in Minecraft, easily. Just in terms of just size. I mean, this is a huge area. I mean, just this little crevice at the bottom of it is like 3 or 4 high, right? So you can imagine, you know, it's at like 30 blocks high here, and I don't know how many blocks long this thing is. It's huge. And honestly, when I got to the end, I thought it would look cool if it went just like another 30 blocks into the big forest, but no, I had to call it somewhere. This is long enough to sell the effect and still get this episode out at a reasonable hour. The bridge is going to have really, I think I've gone back and forth on like a few different bridge designs. I really like a nice curved bridge. Looking straight up in the air, 40 blocks. Yeah, you know, up there. Anyway, I like a curved bridge effect, but I think this one is going to be flat top and then like really long support legs that come way down into the canyon. Hopefully they don't look too ridiculous because they're going to be, 40 blocks long, the support for it. And then probably just some like under the bridge decoration in terms of like block palette. Maybe throw some wood and stone. It's going to be, similar block palettes to the woodcutter. I think the villager area is going to be a more modern, like Boston or Philadelphia city-based area for sure. I love that idea. And you know what? It's just not something I've ever done. And every time I see someone building in that style, look at that beautiful sun shaft shining into the canyon. Anytime I see someone building those build styles, I'm just like, oh, I would love to do that. I would love to be able to walk through like a town center like that with like the big old marble like domed buildings and the big stone steps and stuff. And then even maybe some like high-rise city, skyscrapers or something that were in there. But I do want it to still follow kind of our old war theme. So they'll be like, decrepit or, they'll be like repurposed, right? It won't be a modern building anymore. It'll be like, a blacksmith setting up shop in the basement of a skyscraper or something funny like that, we could play with it some. But yeah, the canyon, we dug it. It's a really big hole. And I love it. Honestly, I just love walking through here. This cave is actually the cave that we first came to when we found this area to build in. I think it was like episode 2 or something like that. It goes way down to bedrock and even deeper. You can see some of our blocks from before. There's a random sand block there and some cobblestone. I think we explored that way mostly when we were mining, but yeah, kind of cool. I didn't even really realize what cave it was until I was digging this section out and I looked down and went, oh yeah, I've been here before. Yeah, pretty cool. It's so funny. This is like the most time probably I've spent in one world. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. I've had some worlds that lasted a while with other people, but in terms of just myself exploring and living in a Minecraft world, this is definitely, if it's not already there, it's getting very close to the most time in one world for me. And I'm like learning the topography, if that makes sense. So like, I don't have to like look at my map or my coordinates or anything like that for like directional stuff. I just kind of know where stuff is now. Like I know the direction of everything. I just kind of like have a feeling for where stuff is now. I mean, obviously in our little immediate area. If you go outside of that, I could easily get lost, but yeah, this thing is awesome. And honestly, it's so cool that I feel like we need to do more with it. I don't have an idea yet, but you guys have some cool ideas for like, I don't know, maybe like a little like hole in the wall shop or something, some little goblin that lives down here selling like enchanted books or crystals or something. I don't know. It just feels like we could do something cool with the canyon. I thought about like putting some like walking paths down here, like hikers going through a canyon. I don't know. I gotta spitball it, but we've got this huge, beautiful thing in our world now, and I really want to make sure we utilize it and are able to explore it some. It's not easily traversed, I wouldn't say. But I guess that's the whole point. That's why we're building a bridge. Honestly, I've been just kind of like organizing the materials and moving stuff back and forth, putting stuff away. I really like to stay on top of that stuff when I'm doing big stuff like this because, I mean, you can end up with shulker boxes of materials and stuff everywhere, and it can get like a real nightmare. And I really want to build this bridge because it is really annoying to ride that horse out and around and then all the way back and then out and around and all the way back, and whew. On top of that, we've got a pile of resources. I got rid of our little chest monster by our bed here and buried it underground. I thought, well, I'm probably not gonna have time to run all this stuff back and forth, but yeah, we've got materials for a little while. If I ever need any stone or cobblestone or dirt, we're good. Don't have to worry about that for a long time. Whew. All right, step 1, Ender Farm XP. And we utilized it a lot. Step 2, dig a big hole. A really, really big hole. And finally, step 3, let's build ourselves a little bridge here. And then the path will be completed, asterisk. Because I do think we're going to extend the path that way for the villager-based town. So it'll be like a big intersection here in the middle that kind of, you can go all 3 directions from the one area. I thought about putting the villager town back here on a little valley. I actually like how close these are together to each other. It just really feels like a really tight-knit small world, and I like that feeling. So I think if we can put something pretty decent size over here, and think of like the skyscrapers just peeking up, maybe we'll just tuck it behind these mountains or something, just enough so you can still see it from here. I don't know. We've got a while to think about that because we've got a lot of work to do here still. And before the monsters come out to get me, let's build a bridge and let's ride Birdie across it.
Stay, honey, I want you to stay. I want you to stay. can get you to stay. Every time you leave, well, I just can't wait.
Well, life keeps dragging me on, I've got to go. There's so much to see in this world, I just have to know.
I want you to stay, honey, I want you to stay. I want you to stay, honey, I want you to stay. I'm lost when you leave, waiting to see what this could be. Every time you smile, you know you take me away. There's something I could say, well, hey, I'd say it right here. Every time I leave, I think.
And here it is, the bridge over the canyon. We did it. We got it done. I wasn't sure for a little while there. I thought maybe it was another case of me over-promising and under-delivering, but we got there. And in the end, I absolutely love the result. I mean, this is such a cool view, a massive transformation for the area, and I just love it. That's all there is to it. Let's tie Birdie back over here and get a little look at this thing. So as you can see, we did go with a flat design, and it's gonna be nighttime again. We probably went too hard on the lanterns. I feel like I always do this when I first make a build. I put like lanterns on every post, and then I come back and I'm like, that's too many. So we'll probably just remove every other. Hopefully this is an odd number. I'm about to find out real quick here. Remove those two. These ones are pretty spaced out. The shorter ends, like the ends didn't work out for like a perfect section, so there's just two shorter ones. So that's probably why those lanterns seem too close, but I think we'll leave the rest because this is going to be too much of a gap if we remove the little ones. All right, let's sleep real quick. So yeah, here it is. The path is complete-ish, or at least it's where I wanted it to be back then, but I knew I wanted to do something like this, something big. And obviously this was just not something that could have been done in another episode, but whew, we got it done. So here's the posts. They are a little long. I don't know. I think it almost looks like, I don't know. This probably doesn't make any sense to anyone else, but in my brain it just has that like exaggerated like steampunk or like fantasy world effect. Like I don't think anyone would ever build such a long post, but I think with the trapdoors and this long pillars over the bridge, I kind of like it. I feel like it's definitely unique, and hey, that's something. We did this kind of, it's just directional stairs and stuff, right? Up close, it doesn't exactly make sense. It breaks in a few spots where you can see trapdoors, but it's got just enough texture to it that from the side it looks good. The stone walls don't look great from this angle. When I was designing it, when you're building it up on this level, it looks fine, but as you get lower, this just looks like a row of blocks, I guess. I don't know. We might need to do a little more with the top. Originally, I was gonna do a covered bridge, but I don't know. I couldn't make it work, so we went with a much more simple design. Because let's be honest, the star of this episode is the canyon, or at least for me it is. Because this thing is massive, and it is awesome. Floor of the bridge is just spruce boards with some, trapdoors in there for texture. We use these chiseled blocks, which I never really used before, but it felt like the bridge should be a little ornate in some ways. So yeah, that's it. Steps 1, 2, and 3. The Ender Farm, Big Canyon, and the bridge. Got it all done. One more step taken in the old school Let's Play world. Feels good. I know we got away from this place a little bit with Lotus Season 3 starting up, but I just really wanted to get settled in that world too, and get to a point where I could feel comfortable kind of going back and forth. But now that we're in a good place in both worlds, I think we may go to an alternating schedule. Now that'll change probably, week over week, because, if we have events on Lotus, obviously I'm going to try to make it to those, and it just naturally is going to mean that video is going to be a Lotus video that week. But for the most part, I'd like to go back and forth. I love playing with those other guys, and I love doing stuff in that world, and it's just giving me like a whole new burst of energy for creating videos, and I love it. But I also love this world, and I don't want it to stagnate, if that makes sense. I just want to feel like we're still making progress here, because this world's going to be around for a really long time, and I want it to kind of upgrade with us over time. And if we don't put in some time and put in some work, it'll never get there. Things like this, it's just such a massive change to the world, and you just got to put time in and do it. I know it seems like a lot, but think about it. We spent a whole week, or at least I spent a whole week, just working working on this. Just digging the trench, making the ender farm, and building a bridge. And if you take bite-sized chunks of your world like that, you can get a lot done. Now, obviously, if you wanted to set out and build a woodcutter village, a mining colony, a canyon, a bridge, a decorated path, and if you were trying to tackle all that all at once, it is going to be a mammoth task. But if you can just build one cabin that week, think about it. The first few episodes of this entire series, we built one cabin, then we built another cabin, then we built a general store, and then we built a tavern. And it's just, week by week, you just kind of chisel away at it and kind of form the whole place out of clay. And over time, you can end up with something really cool. I actually just like being in this world now. And it's to the point where it just feels like home. It's comfy. I know where stuff is. I know where I've placed stuff and where I've explored. And I know where I want to explore next and what else I want to do in the future. And I've got plans. I have just been absolutely loving making videos and playing Minecraft. And I don't know, I'm in a good place right now. So hopefully that comes across in the videos. We hit 1,000 subs, and that's pretty cool. And hey, if you like this video, maybe you could be number 1,000 and whatever we're on now. Maybe even like the video, I don't know. It's a good idea. But I think that's all we have time for because whoo-wee, this was a big one. This was a big episode, but I had lots of fun making it. And hopefully you had lots of fun watching it. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good one.